Okay. I wonder if we're live.
It shows we're live.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are live, folks.
Can you text me the meeting the YouTube?
What do you want me to do?
Actually, I may have just gotten it in my email, so.
Oh, you want the YouTube link?
Yeah, so that I can, but I got it in my email.
Well, we have two watching. So if you're watching, welcome, folks. We got a chat message. Was that you, Michael?
Nope. Man, we sound good on that stream.
Hold on, I got like 3 or 4 different people going in my... Hold on. Okay. Welcome, folks. If you're here in chat, say hi. Let's see. We have a new setup today, so just bear with us.
Yep, we're just getting a few things set up. And welcome for all of welcome to people watching.
Steam Connected says hi.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, folks. Are we ready to get started, Michael?
Yes, let's go ahead and get going. It's kind of interesting. I am used to talking to the microphone, and I have a camera, and Taylor has a camera. We're in the same room.
We are.
And so it's kind of a new setup, and we're in stereo. So if you have good headphones, go put on some good headphones and check us out, because it's pretty exciting, I think. And we're always welcome chat messages. So please bring those, and it's awesome. So I think we have a pretty awesome stream today, don't you think?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think we have a really great stream today. I see we got some chatters. Steam Connected says hi.
And then, yep.
Oh, you know what?
Yep, just...
It says hi.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And if you're here as well, please say hi. And we'll acknowledge you on stream. We're going to have a great stream today, and I'm super excited. All right.
Yep. So, Taylor, what do you have in mind for us today?
Well, that's a great question, Michael. We're going to be talking about Python graphical user interface libraries. We all know that creating desktop apps is really awesome, and that is what's up these days. People like to use Electron, which is basically a web view in a desktop application. People also like to use the old technologies, or not really old, but the technologies like C++ and that kind of things to create desktop applications. However, what people may also want to do is use Python to create desktop applications, and that's something that we really want to do here, Michael and myself. And so today we're going to be talking about the best frameworks and how to do that, and we're going to be doing the Ultimate Python Graphical User Interface, or GUI for short. So if you hear GUI, that's basically what that means. And we're going to be doing the ultimate comparison, the ultimate showdown. So you guys don't want to miss it. It's going to be pretty epic. And we found out some crazy things that you guys don't want to miss. So that is what we're going to be doing today, Michael.
Yep. So the two graphical interfaces that we've worked with extensively are basically PySide, which is also apparently named Qt for Python.
It is, project. Yes.
And also... So there's two libraries, Qt for Python and PyQt. Not confusing at all. And PySide is the Python Qt for Python, and it allows you to build commercial applications, which is neat. And it does kind of lag behind PyQt a little bit as far as speed.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it is more attuned to people that want to build commercial applications for free. It is the officially supported application standard by Qt, so that's really pretty awesome.
It is.
And the other framework we're going to talk about today is WxPython. And we're going to talk about the differences and...
the pros and cons.
Mm-hmm. And we're also working on some bigger challenges to see which one can do the most with less. And Taylor is working on the PySide version, and I'm working on the WXPython version. And I was impatient. I wanted to play with PySide, and I already know that I've lost the challenge.
Yeah. But Michael, even before we get into those two frameworks, I think we should get the really inaccessible ones out of the way first, just being humorous, right? The things that you probably don't want to use if you want an accessible application.
Right, and this is at the time of recording. We have not gotten these to work with most screen readers, and the few of those would be tkinter, which is unfortunate. That's really it comes built in with Python.
Yep.
Kiwi does not appear to work, and what other ones have you tried?
PySimple GUI, and we also have pretty much any of the other frameworks, except for the ones that we mentioned, pretty much we've not been able to get to work.
At the time of this?
At the time of this recording, yes. We do have a couple chatters.
It's all been the same.
Yeah.
Just people saying hi.
Yep.
So, but if you guys would like to comment and, ask us questions throughout, please feel free to do so. That's where we're here.
Yep.
And we're here to have fun and talk about this stuff. So.
Yeah. So Kevin, welcome. I don't think you've been to the stream before, so welcome to the channel. And if you guys are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We've got crazy good content coming up. We just started our Programming for Everyone meetup. That was pretty epic. We had that on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool. We had about 8 people, I believe, and then 10
in total.
Yeah, and it was really awesome. So you don't have to be in Austin to participate. So that is pretty awesome.
Yep. And we have a Discord server.
We do.
You can find it from the meetup page. Don't want to post it right here on YouTube just because of, we want to keep the spam registrations down. It's interesting stuff, and, we hope people join us. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, let's just go ahead and start getting into the topic. Again, folks, if you have any comments or you want to say something, go ahead and chat, and we will respond on stream.
Mm-hmm. And, why... So let's start off with this question. Why would a person want to do a graphical interface in Python? And that's a great question.
It is.
And, the answer to that is you not necessarily would want to.
No.
And the reason is performance. You're using an interpreted language to talk to another library, which is talking to another library. But it's easy to do.
It is, and I think that's the number one reason people would want to do that. It's simplicity and ease of use.
I don't know about other people here, but I consider Python to be easier than JavaScript.
What do you guys think? Go ahead and say it in the comments, and we'll kind of take a poll. Python is definitely easier, in my opinion, than JavaScript.
Yep. So, and like we talked about, there are several different frameworks out there. We just pick the ones that are the most accessible. And the nice thing about Python is it's just easy to write.
It is. And if you guys want some great tutorials, I've got some on this channel.
Steam Connected, you said TOO. I'm not sure if that means you agree as well or what you mean by that. So.
Yeah, so if you could elaborate on that, that'd be great.
It is easier than JavaScript.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. That makes sense.
That's great.
So, I do JavaScript for my day job, so Python just is a lot more fun to write, in my opinion.
Yep.
One of the first Python applications I wrote was a program in WXPython to do push notifications. through Firebase Cloud Messaging. And so I'm going to be changing that over to PySide because PySide, to me, is a lot easier to write than WX So
It is. And it has a lot more modern UI components. We're going to probably actually write that together when you say, Michael, okay, we're going to try to do that. And that way we can send out notifications when we go live.
Mm-hmm. You know, the funny thing is, it's to convert it over, it's just going to take 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm sure it probably will. And that's the thing. So either way, I think we have a couple other WX Python. I thought we had a couple other applications. Either way, we're going to be converting stuff.
Yep. And I highly recommend PySide over PyQt because PySide allows you to commercially sell your products without including the source.
Yes, and along with all that, we just got a question. Kevin Merrill asked, are these cross-platform? The answer is yes.
Yes. Now, interestingly, something I was seeing on the PySide website, it said, or at least an older version, I think 5, it said compatible with Linux and macOS only.
Huh.
So I'm wondering about the Windows compatibility of that. Have you built and ran a PySide application in Windows?
I have.
Okay, so great.
I think that was with PySide 2, Michael, because I think they skipped from PySide 6 to from PySide 2.
From 2 to 6?
Yeah, sorry.
I think the reason why they did that is they were doing version numbers 1, 2, and then they wanted to keep up with the Qt version, which is now PySide 6.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly, a little bit of Qt trivia is it's actually pronounced cute. That is the proper pronunciation according to Wikipedia of the framework.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, found that out. I've been doing a lot of research on this. Another thing, I was looking at the Qt for Python. See, it's Qt for Python, which is hard to say.
Yeah, it
used to saying
is.
Qt. It's interesting because one thing that I don't think WX offers is built-in theme support for operating systems. So, for example, if I'm on macOS and I change my Mac to dark mode, PySide will automatically switch to dark mode.
That's pretty awesome.
And I saw it because I was seeing a screenshot on their webpage. I'm like, how do they get their window to be dark mode without adding colors in the source? I looked, I'm like, oh my god, it's built in.
That is awesome. And Kevin in chat basically said that a lot of these rely on platform-specific components. Mm-hmm. Do you want to speak to that a little bit, Michael?
Yes. So things like Kiwi and I think tkinter uses a lot of native components, but Kiwi and several others out there do not. They rely on their own components. But the reason why we like Qt or Qt, whatever the heck, PySide is
PySide. Just say that. That's easier.
It uses its own, or it uses the native components, and we both like native components in our apps. And the reason is that they work better with screen readers.
Yes. And
they just look like they're built for that platform. Now, the one thing on macOS, it's all the same, AppKit based, I think it's called Carbon UI elements. Whereas on Windows, you have WinForms, WPF, UWP, all the alphabet soup,
Uno,
WPS.
yeah.
And so you don't know what the framework is going to give you.
No.
As far as what components you're using. I like my Windows apps to look like UWP, but they don't always do that, so that's something to keep in mind.
No, and a quick accessibility tip, folks. If you're making apps, it's a lot easier to make them more accessible if you use native components.
Mm-hmm.
So for those people out there who are developing apps, that's just a little bit of an accessibility tip today. Is use native when you can. It makes your life a lot easier.
Yep. Now, there are things like Flutter.
There are.
Which is interesting because it makes its own custom components, but it maps them to the native UI tree, the accessibility tree, or whatever it uses on iOS, to make their components accessible, which is really interesting how they do that.
Yeah, it is. And That's great. I mean, obviously because it is by Google, but if you try to grab some random controls out there, we did this experiment a while back, and I found so many inaccessible code snippets for React components, I think it was, Michael. It was kind of ridiculous, right? So
For React Native?
A whole bunch of different things.
React Native or just React?
Either way, it was both in VS Code. We did that experiment on the Techopolis channel a while back. It was React Native, but basically we went and tried some components, and we went through some VS Code snippets, and we're like, these are not accessible, these are accessible. I think we've either have it on my channel or the Techopolis channel. Either way, we did a lot of experimentation.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's really interesting. There's so many options, so many choices, but in those choices, which ones are the most accessible? Which ones will provide accessibility out of the box is kind of the important thing. Taylor's been doing a lot of videos about Python and, frameworks. But we just wanted to have a discussion and talk about what we felt were, some good graphical interfaces.
Yeah, so should we kind of get into more about the specifics, Michael, when you say?
As in?
The specifics in terms of, the ease of designing, the ease of coding the different apps, right? How do you do it versus Wx? How do you do it in PySide? Mm-hmm. And just kind of have more of a conversation. Do you think it'd be time for that?
Yeah, let's do that. So one of the things, and I'm just going to start at a very high level, and we can go down to a low level, and I could send Taylor a file that I have written, a simple window with a button, a label, and text field. And one of the things that's really nice about PySide compared to Wx, in Wx you have to supply a size. You cannot let the window scale based on the contents of the window, as far as I know, because size is a required argument in creating a window class.
Nope, because I think it'll give you an error if you don't have it.
Mm-hmm. And I believe in Wx, they're not even called windows. What were they called? Frames. Yes. Now in PySide, everything's a widget.
It is.
But you have certain widgets that are like you have Qmain window, and it just makes a lot of sense, and it it's really nice. One of the things though that is a little interesting is I feel like some of the features of PySide are unlocked by using their Qml interface design files, which is neat, but at the same time, it'd be nice to have that through all the code.
Yeah, and I think that stands for Q modeling language.
I figured Q markup language, but
I think it's modeling, actually. I think I read that online yesterday.
Okay. So ML could mean modeling language, markup language, machine learning. There's so many MLs out there. I feel like that needs to change.
Yeah, but either way, you can access QML from Python, Michael. So that is an option. You can load QML from a Python file.
Nice.
So that is an option, and maybe Michael and I will explore that alpha stream. Maybe we'll create a Visual Studio Code live share. For those who don't know, it's really great because you can literally code together in real time.
Until somebody goes and deletes your code.
Yeah, I know. I did. Thanks, VoiceOver.
Sure, blame your Mac.
But either way, y'all, it's a really great way, and I think that, Michael, that'd be great for you as well, because you could kind of get to see how the interface works, and you can also define different rectangles and different shapes as well.
Right. But there's a thing called the stack view, which emulates the Mac OS and iOS navigation view, which is really exciting. There's tab views. There's all kinds of different ways to do navigation that I only am seeing in QML. Now, I wonder if VS Code can do Qml syntax highlighting.
It can. I believe there is an extension. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Second, let me go switch systems. I'm on my remote computer at the moment, so let me go to my VS Code. I believe there is this extension called... Give me a second. Oops. That's thing trying to open something here. Okay. Things like QML syntax highlighting or something. QML... Let's see. Okay. Oh, you know what's trying to join our collaboration? QML is called. Language Support for VS Code.
Nice.
So there are options to do QML, folks. There are definitely options.
Yep.
And it makes it really easy. I honestly think that that'd be the best way to do it, Michael, because then that way it's kind of separating your code from the interface.
But didn't you say it can have accessibility complications?
No, remember what I said yesterday?
No.
You want to know why I had accessibility complications? Because the window wasn't visible.
You didn't run a .show?
I didn't run a window visible equals true.
See, it's interesting because you don't have to do that in when you're just writing the code.
But in QML you do because you have to show the window.
Interesting. Yeah, when you're just writing it, you just write window.show or whatever you're writing.
Yeah, I think it's window.visible equals true or something. I don't know. Either way, my window wasn't visible. That's why it wasn't accessible. And then I tested it yesterday and I got it to work.
Nice.
So we can explore that after stream today.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure. So, one of the neat things is there is also, if WXPython is your thing and you prefer that, let's talk about that. It does have an accessible user interface designer called Wxglade. And it's a Python application that writes Python code. And you could design stuff with WXPython. It's pretty neat. But the thing about it is there are more controls in PySide than you get in WXPython.
Yep. And also the Mac accessibility, that tool's a little bit lackluster.
That's a shame.
It is, but what do I expect?
Well, Mac just does a lot of things different anyway as far as accessibility.
Yeah, that's why I'm not too surprised.
But the neat thing about WXPython, you do have to be more precise. So if you like that kind of thing, that's great. So,
yeah, if you like that, you can kind of choose what you like. I think we have a chat message. I'm not understanding what that means.
Right.
Michael?
Do not understand that. So, but yeah, it's more precise. You can do more with, you have to specify more values, but it does work.
It does. But I would say if you can use PySide, you can also set keyboard shortcuts with PySide as well for your buttons and things. So that's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. And we haven't even played around with menu bars in PySide.
I have, though, actually. I know how to do it. Menu bar equals... What do you think, Michael? Everything starts with a Q. That's the other thing,
Q
too.
menu
Everything
bar.
starts with a Q. Q menu bar, Q main window, Q widgets, Q grid layout, Q VBox layout, Q HBox layout, Q label, Q line edit, which is a single line text field, and then you have Q text editor, which is a multi-line text field.
Now, one of the things that is interesting, and I want to point out, this kind of feels like a rip on WXPython day.
It kind of does.
All the tutorials say import WX. So you're having to import the entire WXPython framework, library and modules, whatever. With PySide, you are able to import what you want and what you're needing in your program instead of bringing in the entire Qt framework.
I didn't think about that. Because honestly, do you want me to be completely transparent? I'm kind of a lazy programmer. And I kind of just say import everything. Because I never know what I need, which is not a good practice, folks. Mm-hmm. But hey, at least I'm admitting it on stream.
I'm kind of used to Java. So you import, the things you need when you need it. I don't know if... and I think you have to import everything for VS Code to... syntax highlight and do code completion, but one way to learn is to import everything at the start and then go back through and say, okay, do I need this and this and this and this?
Yeah. And that's a great way to learn as well.
Okay, do we have any questions in the chat? You guys feel free to ask us anything about these two frameworks. We're here to answer your questions. So, yeah, feel free to ask us anything that you have questions about. And, we're up to 109 subscribers on the Techopolis channel, which is very exciting. One of the things that we like to do is do programming videos on the channel. So, we want to thank everybody for being here. I also do gaming things as well, so we have a very wide mix of technology-related streams. So,
Michael, they want to see the code, so we better do some code.
That came in faster for you than it did for me.
Well, that's because I've got Restream Chat, and that's epic.
Yeah, it actually came in faster on Restream Chat than it did on YouTube's webpage. That's funny.
Funny.
So, do you want me to send you this code?
Well, Michael, we can either do a live share session or you can share the screen, vice versa. I don't care how you do it.
Okay. So you might want to give me sharing privileges if you have not already.
I will do that. And then, folks, if you would like to see the example, I will go ahead and put it in the Techopolis GitHub organization. If you're not following that, you should go ahead and do that, because that's where all the code for all of our stuff is, in the Techopolis GitHub organization. So that is that. All right, let me go ahead and let's see. I'm going to give you permissions. You should already have permissions, but let me see. Just a second, folks.
Okay, I do have permissions, it appears.
Right?
It looks like I can share things, so let me find...
Michael's going to go ahead and share the source code. I did get a couple chats. I'm not sure Steam connected. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. But there you go, Michael.
All right. So let me explain what we have here. So we're in VS Code. And what we have is we have several lines. So starting at the top, we're importing
PySide.
No, we imported some other stuff that we didn't need because I was having issues. Let's get rid of that.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay.
So, what happened here?
We imported some unnecessary things, probably, that I accidentally found.
No, I think I typed text box instead of edit box, so that brought it in from somewhere else. So, let's fix that. So we have from pyside6.qt core import qsize and qt. From pyside6.qt widgets import qapplication, qmain window, qpush button, qlabel, qwidget, and all these are separated by commas. Why can't I go any further? Because my Zoom thingy is taking up the whole area. How do I minimize that? Can I just drag it out of the way? Move. Thank you. All right. What else do we got up here in the Q push button, Q label, Q widget, Q VBox layout, Q line edit. And that's what we have for our imports. So those are all of the items in PySide we're going to use, and we're only bringing in the things that we need. Then we have import sys, and that is for bringing in, if you use command line objects or arguments to launch the app. So then we have class main window, parentheses, main window, which is, or Q main window.
Q main window.
And parentheses colon, and so we're creating a class, and so we indent def init, or underscore underscore init underscore underscore parentheses self, right parentheses colon. I'm reading all this stuff out so that any blind users can know what is here, because I do not have voiceover on. Then we have super, and then parentheses dot init, and then parentheses again. It's a strange syntax for that. Basically, we're calling super on the class so we can get all the previous information, and then we're going to add our stuff to the main window. Self.set window title, and I'm not going to read capital letters. You can figure that stuff out. But window and title are capitalized. Parentheses, my app, right? Double quote, and that's in quotes. Just like Python and a lot of other languages, that stuff is in strings. Strings are in double quotes or single quotes. It does not matter in Python which one you use. And right parentheses. So it's interesting that we're using a function or a procedure to set that title instead of applying that to a property. So self.layout, we're creating a layout equals qvbox layout. Self.label equals qlabel, parentheses, double quote, test label. So we're creating a label on the screen that says test label. Self.editBox equals qLineEdit, in parentheses, nothing in the parentheses. Self.editBox.set placeholder text equals enter text here, which is not working, so I thought I had gotten rid of that line. Self.button equals qPushButton, and then parentheses, double quote, push me.
Very descriptive button label, Michael.
Right. That would not pass accessibility standards.
No, it wouldn't. You get called up for it.
Self.button.set shortcut is parentheses, double quote, control plus P. We have not gotten that to work, so we're still working on that. Self.button.click.connect, which Visual Studio still does not recognize that as a
I don't understand
thing.
that.
Parentheses, self.buttonPress. And so that's a function that we're calling. Self.layout.addWidget, self.label in parentheses. Self.layout.addWidget, parentheses, self.editBox, and the same thing with self.button. So we've created all of our objects and we've added them to the layout. Now, self.widget equals qWidget. Self.widget.setLayout, self.layout in parentheses. Self.set central widget is self.widget. And that's it for the main stuff. Now, we have our event for our push button. Def, which is how we define a function. Button press, parentheses, self. And that parentheses self says that this is a instance function in this class. Print left parentheses double F double quote. Entered text is left bracket self dot edit box dot text. Because this is an instance, we can still get access to all of those variables we made in the init option, which is really nice. Makes it really easy to get data into the function. So that's event-driven UI right there. So, I see Taylor's in my file.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are we still on a share session?
I guess so.
Hold on.
I see a red cursor right in my file, right here.
Really?
Or maybe that was the last place you were at. Yep, there you are. You're moving in my file.
That's incredible. That session's still going on.
Mm-hmm. So if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals double quote underscore underscore main underscore underscore double quote colon, this checks if this is the main module or if it's just running as the main code. App equals Q application. Parentheses sys.argv. Parentheses. window equals main window, so we're making an instance of that main window that we just did. Window.show and app.exec. And that's our whole program, folks. 35 lines.
Wow.
35 lines. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to load up a WX Python user interface that I've been working on.
And show them the differences. But chat, what do you guys think about this?
So now this one's a little longer because I've been working on it for a while. This one is 69 lines of code, and I'm going to read all of it to you guys. But I want to give folks a little bit of time for chat, and I'm going to go and make sure that that is working on screen share, even though I could probably just lean over and see if it's on Taylor's screen.
And apparently see if you have a Twitter notification too. That's what's nice, folks. We're in the same room, so it's pretty nice. We got chat. Kevin Merrill says, I'm amazed how this same VS Code looks in Mac versus Windows. Well, it is Electron, so it is cross-platform, so I'm not too surprised. But yeah, it's awesome how they've been able to have a consistent UI. So Michael is getting his stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
But folks, what do you guys think about this? I mean, honestly, it's pretty awesome, isn't it? I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving this.
All right, so this is showing up. I'm seeing it on my paused YouTube stream. All right, so, and this is the first time I've actually been able to show off code to you guys. Taylor's usually been the one driving the code.
I know. It's a change. How do you guys like it?
All right, so it looks like, oh, never mind. Are you in that file too now? I see a red cursor in my WX file.
Am I? Hold on. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. I see your code. Because
All right.
We're sharing a workspace. We're sharing a workspace, that's why.
Oh, yes, because you're seeing my root folder.
Oh, whoops.
But I'm glad that I'm not showing my root folder, so that's good.
That would be bad. Anyways.
Yes. Anyway, because that would be my home directory. You want to give folks just another minute for chats before we get started.
Yeah, and let's see if anyone is here. And again, Michael, we're going to put these both on GitHub. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, we are. There's some cleanup that we're going to do even on GitHub, so just keep in mind of that. But yeah.
That way you guys can see it.
Mm-hmm. This application has both menus and tabs. So I've gotten a little further along in this application than I have in PySide. In fact, Taylor is going to get to see my application I was making for the challenge today.
Yes, which is going to be great.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, okay, I guess if we don't have any questions, I will get started. All right, so like I said before, we are importing WX. And you know what? I'm just going to try something for grins.
Whoa, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
What are you doing? Because VoiceOver keeps saying new line, new line, new line.
Oh, I don't know why. Because I think it's because it dropped your focus down a line or so. And so VoiceOver did not know what to do.
Well, is that because you're...
So I typed from Wx import.
I see it. From Wx import Wx. From Wx dot... Okay.
No, that does not work.
It works?
No.
No. You tried to run it?
No, I could just tell that there's a squiggly line under one of the things. Yeah, interesting. Let's see. From Wx import.
Now, is making squiggly lines, is this indented? Or is it making squiggly lines every time that there's an error with VoiceOver? It's reading out these beeping sounds.
Now, it does say from Wx import panel. That seems to have worked. Comma. Let's see. Can we import static text?
We can? Wait, hold on.
So, yes, we can go and we can bring these items in just like PyQt. That's interesting.
So, Michael, I think I just made a discovery. So, you know how you're saying, type something that's wrong a minute? Because I think every time I type something that's wrong, VS Code actually makes it so that it will be audible instead of having the visual syntax highlighting.
Okay, let's do...
Oh, okay. What are you doing?
I just removed import Wx, and I'm just doing it manually. So...
It made that sound.
So that means there's...
Is there a problem here on the slide?
There is, because I have a comma at the end of the line without having anything else there.
Well, guess what? It made a sound. So I'm wondering if that's why it made it sound, because there's no indentation here. Folks, if that is true, that is a whole new level that Microsoft is evening the playing field for blind programmers, because we're able to hear what sighted programmers are able to see via the squiggly lines. So...
Yeah, I'm importing frameworks or widgets without doing that. Now, it's saying that Wx dot panel is incorrect. So I wonder if I just do panel. Yeah, I like that.
And it seems to be fine, right? It doesn't seem to throw an error or be...
It's not. And interestingly, why is there a from tkinter import? What? No,
I didn't do it.
That is wrong.
And why is there tkinter up there?
Yeah, because it says from tkinter import notebook. That is not what we want.
Where'd that go? Why'd that get in there?
Not sure. So, and also, I don't know if it does this for screen reader users, but now it says import panel, and it has panel as being a brighter color compared to the other things that we're bringing in, because panel is used in our code.
No, it doesn't do that, but to even have a step where it even has it where it will show if it's an error line, I like that. Don't you, Michael? Because it helps even the playing field. That way I can see if it seems wrong or not.
Right. I just changed the code back because the goal of this was not to go down this rabbit hole.
It's fine. Michael goes down rabbit holes, and I'm going to be going down rabbit holes so I can show how Microsoft Visual Studio Code...
Yeah, I think that's worth a whole video.
Actually, it might be a stream later on tonight. I might be going live again tonight, folks. So if you guys want me to go live again, say you want me to go live in the chat, and I'll go live. Because what else are we going to do on a cold Saturday night in Austin?
Exactly. So, okay, we've got our import Wx back. Boring. I did not know I can manually put those imports in. That's kind of exciting, and I like that format better.
Yes.
So, all right. Any questions about our recent 2 discoveries there? I feel like we're teaching a class.
I do too. I always feel like when I'm streaming, I'm teaching a class. But folks, what are y'all's thoughts? All I can say is that I'm having a blast.
And you know what's really cool? We have a whole different group of people here with us.
We do. So guys, if you're let us know if you're on that Programming for Everyone Discord, if that's how you guys find it. Let us know how you found the stream, because I'm just curious if you guys were on that Discord, or I'm really liking that Discord. And again, if you guys are curious about any of this stuff, go ahead and write on Discord. Maybe you want us to talk about something live. We will.
Okay. So let's go back to our VS Code and let's do some comparison.
Let's do this, Michael.
So we're starting off with we have a notebook, which is kind of like a tab bar on the top of our window. So we have class tab 1, parentheses, wx.panel, right parentheses, colon, def init, self, parent. And you don't have to worry about parent in PySide.
No, you don't. You do not. And Kevin says he's been done Discord for years. Well, Kevin, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm super excited that you're on the Programming for Everyone server, if that's where you came from. So super exciting. But no, you have to do no parents on PySide. Well, I could have sounded wrong, but
wx.panel point underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and you don't have to init that's handled through a super self parent. So right now, this is just taken from examples. T equals wx.static text self, comma 1, which is I think the identifier, comma this is the first tab, and then they have a size of 20, comma 20. I don't think you have to put the size, but that was in the tutorial. Txt equals wx.text control self, comma 2, comma value equals double quote parentheses. And that's one that I added, a text control. So now we have that's the first class. Class equals tab 2, parentheses, wx.panel, right, parentheses, colon, def init, self parent, all that stuff that was there. Wx.panel, init, self, panel, all that stuff that was there. T equals T equals wx dot static text self -1 on this one, which is any identifier. Quote, this is the second tab. And again, using size of 20, comma 20. And that's in parentheses as well. And the third tab is exactly the same. I'm not reading over it. It just class tab 3. Next class is class tab 4. Same thing. Not reading over it. Class about window parentheses wx.frame. So this is an actual window. Def init def underscore underscore init underscore underscore parentheses self comma parent comma title. So this, we can add the title here. wx.frame underscore underscore init underscore underscore parentheses self parent title equals title. Size equals 300, comma 200. So here, we're not putting in the title. We're letting the user do that when they define the window, but we're defining the size as 300 by 200. And you could do that at definition time, where you could create the size as well, but it has to be there somewhere. And that's all we have in that window. We have not added anything else in that window. Class main window. This ought to look familiar or similar. Class main window, parentheses wx.frame. So remember, frames are windows, folks. Def init underscore underscore init underscore underscore parentheses self comma parent comma title. wx.frame underscore dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore parentheses self comma parent comma title equals title. Size is 300 by 200 in parentheses. Okay. P equals wx.panel parentheses self. So we're just making a panel. NB for notebook equals wx.notebook parentheses p. So essentially we're making a notebook and giving it a panel of the P that we created above it. Tab 1 equals, so tab number 1 equals tab 1, ONE, parentheses, NB. So we're saying that it's part of the notebook of NB. Same with tab 2 equals tab 2, parentheses, NB, tab 3, tab 4. Then we're going to add the windows to the tabs and name them. nb.addPanel tab 1, comma, and this is in, so nb.addPage, parentheses, tab 1, comma, quote, tab 1. And these are the tab labels, so tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, all of those 4 lines, the same thing.
Michael, I need to interrupt for a second. We just got asked if we could scroll down because he can't see the code.
Scroll down?
Yeah, apparently he can't see the code, so he needs to scroll down. That's what I was told in chat.
Okay, I'm just scrolling some more.
Sorry about that.
And I'm scrolling as I'm going through, so it might be just slower than what people are used to. Then we have set notebook in a sizer to create the layout. So sizer equals wx.boxsizer, parentheses, sizer.addNotebook. And this is kind of like the VBox layout in PySide. So nb, comma, 1, we'll have that as the identifier, comma, wx.expand. So we're saying to expand the whole size. And expand is all caps. And that's in parentheses as well. P, which is our panel, dot set sizer. So we're adding the sizer and then sizer. It's a little confusing because I thought we added P to the notebook. So that's, and then we added the notebook to the sizer. And it's kind of weird. Wx doesn't make as much sense to me. So now we have our menu bar. File menu equals wx.menu, and then parentheses. About item equals file menu.append, parentheses, wx.id, all in caps, underscore about, comma, quote, and about, which gives it a keystroke. So the A is capital, and the title is about. Quote, comma, quote, information about this program. So I guess that's the tooltip. And then double quote, right parentheses. Next line. Self.bind, wx.evt, all in caps, underscore, menu, comma, self.onAbout, and comma, about item. So we're binding the event onAbout, which is a function, to open the about window to the about menu item. And then we're creating a file menu.append wx.id underscore exit. And I guess this is why they don't do a lot of, like, where you have to include everything, because you would have to include the wx.id underscore exit identifier.
I guess so.
So that's probably, there's a lot that brings in from the same wx class. So id underscore exits, all caps, comma, e number xit, or and sign for the keystroke, double quote, comma, quote, terminate the program, in quotes for a string. Menu bar equals wx.menubar, parentheses, menu bar dot append file menu in parentheses, comma, number sign, double quote, and file, double quote, right parentheses, and then self.set menu bar, parentheses, menu bar, right parentheses, self.show, parentheses, true, right parentheses. So we're showing the window. So the next thing in the class is def on about, parentheses, self, comma, event. So we can see what event called this. Right parentheses, colon. About window equals about window with all caps, parentheses, self, comma, quote, about, quote, right parentheses. So that about in quotes is the title of the window. If y'all remember, we said that the title of the window would be defined from where it was being called.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. If _ name _ equals double quote _ main _ double quote colon app equals wx.app parentheses false, because we're not going to have any component in the app that will get blog data, so we want it to go to the console, right parentheses. Main window equals main window parentheses none, so no parent parentheses none comma quote test app double quote right parentheses, so that's the title of the main window, and then the kicker app.main loop parentheses, and that's it. That's the two applications in the two languages, the two frameworks.
Wow, man, that is intense.
That's a lot of code comparing the two.
Wow.
Yep. So, I would like to take questions.
I would too. Someone asked for the Discord, so what I did is I just put it in there. We could always delete it later, Michael, but I just put it in there for now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine.
It was the easiest way to just get it across. So you guys, if you want to join the Discord, you can do that. If you want to check out the meetup, I have the link, and I put that in there as well.
And I just heard a Discord message.
Nice. So, folks, if you're wanting to join the Discord, all that we ask is you just introduce yourself in the introductions channel. That way we can make sure that you're actually a human. And then we'll let you in, and you can ask questions, and you can talk to the others.
Yep. So, folks, you got a great demonstration of live share. You could see Taylor in my actual project. You were able to see, the comparison between these two libraries. And I think that's pretty cool.
I do too, and I might even use live share tonight on the stream. Now, obviously, a lot of people might not know how to use it, but I still might put it in there.
Mm-hmm. And, here's the thing. We want feedback. How's our new setup?
Yeah, how do you guys like it?
I noticed that we are kind of distorting a little bit because I'm using a monitor with we're using a Yeti microphone with stereo. But it sounds like it's working pretty well, and so we want to know what your thoughts are on it. We're actually sitting right next to each other in the same room, and it was a great setup for this, and I'm pretty excited about it. So,
yeah, let us know. I think we do a chat message. Let me see. I'm not sure I understand I'm not sure what that means. Okay.
That looks like spam to me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Looks like spam to me.
Folks, if you want to spam, FYI, if we're doing a live demo, it will get read out to the whole entire group. So, have to put that out there. All right.
All right.
Thanks a lot. Awesome, you're in. Yes, you are. Just introduce yourself, and we'll go ahead and admit you in. And you can go ahead, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go do that as well. We're probably going to be going live again tonight. At least I am. Going live, folks, is kind of my relaxation. Michael likes to play on the Xbox. I like to go live.
Yep. And I think we're going to keep the microphone in here because this has just been a great setup.
I think so, too. So, y'all, let's go ahead and keep it open. And then if we don't hear anything, we're going to go end it for now.
Mm-hmm. We've been going for an hour.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's been awesome. But, folks, this has been a great stream. So, I'm just going to, like I said, I might even go live. We do have our Programming for Everyone Discord. So, if you're on there, I might go on there on voice, and I might be talking some programming. So, if you guys want to go see some programming action and just talk programming for a little while, I might be up for that.
Cool.
All right. I don't have any other chat messages. Do we want to call it, Michael?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a good idea. So I think we'll see you next time.
See you guys next time, probably tonight. Who knows? All right, talk to you guys later. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.